Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 626.
That was about 8 years ago.
It's been a long day, y'all. 626. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is Thursday, the 24th of August, 2023. Laura and I both use the she, her pronouns. And there will be a little bit of extra noise today. Michael has been working some insane hours because of a work thing. And he got up at 2 this morning to work, and he signed off at about 4 p.m. So it was a 14-hour day. So he's sleeping now, so we're watching the dogs. This is Carly. She's the one we got last summer. And Jordy, who is the new puppy, he's eating a
pig's ear.
And we got a minute or so of footage earlier. I'll try to put it at the end.
Of complete dog chaos. Complete dog chaos.
But yeah, Carly is the original parkour dog. At least in this house. And Jordy is her bestie, but she gets in trouble if she takes away his treat because she already ate hers. So anyway.
Oh.
Do you want to go first?
I can. I am in the middle of a round, but I just started knitting a sock last night. It is out of some hand spun, so it looks like it is very small and wee.
It is a toe. Teeny
nope,
toe.
No toe.
Oh, you're doing it top down.
Top down. So it is the ribbing of a cuff. And the yarn that it is coming out of looks like that. So this is Greenwood Fiber Works. It is their Superwash BFL nylon blend that they sell for socks.
Is this what you showed last week?
No.
Oh, okay.
I feel how squishy and nice it is.
It is?
Yeah. So
that's a 3-ply?
This is a 3-ply.
Jeez Louise.
It is around 325 yards from 4 ounces of a 3-ply.
Couldn't do that on my best day.
Yes, you could.
No, I couldn't.
It just takes patience. It's not. Anyway, it just takes patience. So yeah, this is now on size 0 needles. I cast on 56 stitches, and I will work in ribbing and go from there.
Wait, 56. So is it a sport weight?
No. I mean, I'm knitting on size 0s.
But don't you typically do 72 for a fingering weight sock?
Nope, 64. But when I cast on 64, it looked large.
Oh, okay.
So,
just curious.
No, I do 64 for a fingering weight sock usually, and 56 for a sport weight. I'm knitting these on size 0s, and it's like, here, let me back up a second. So, I cast on the yarn that y'all saw last week, which was this yarn.
You knit a whole sock.
I did. And this I cast on 64, and then it was very large, like 12 inches around. On size 0s, and so then I went down to 56, and it is not 12 inches around, and it fits my foot just fine. So I figured this was pretty comparable. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, maybe the yarn is just a really heavy fingering.
Yep, could be.
Or maybe it's just puffier than others comparable yarns.
So this was Inglenook, and it is out of, looks like this yarn that I showed you all in the skein form last week. And so this is the first one, and there will be a second one eventually, but these are for a Fly magazine article, so there will be first ones, and then they are getting shipped off as part of the article, and then there will be second ones eventually
at some point.
Yep. But I have 4 pairs to knit and spin for, so I've got to only do 1 to begin with. Then if I have time, I will do a second, but I want to get the first ones done first. So that is what I've been working on, and then I also, on my other pair of socks, got a smidge. Oop, apparently I left that in the middle of a row, and then
How dare you?
I know, dropped all the stitches. So this is a sport weight sock from the toe up. I was knitting on this when I went to pick up my Kroger groceries the other day because I didn't have my other socks with me. So these are kind of like my grocery pickup socks. And these are out of a Knit Spin Farm club colorway. I'm knitting them from the toe up on size 1 needles. So yeah. All the things. All the socks. Nothing else, just socks. So that's all that I've worked on, those 3 pairs of socks.
I'm in the middle of a row as well.
Everyone's in the middle of a row.
That's what all the cool kids do. Stuff in the middle of a row.
There is that. He does not eat that pig ear really at all.
He eventually wears it down.
He like plays with it. He's such a baby.
He has such tiny teeth. So.
Aww.
Okay, so the only really things I'm working on, I'm still working on my Bahal shawl out of Sparkles and Fringe, or Sequins and Fringe, colorway by Miss Babs and the Yowza base. It doesn't look like anything right now. I think I've knit a row and a half since last week. I joined.
Those rows are getting big though.
The new skein, yeah, I have no idea how many stitches are on it at this point. But yeah, I'm on a row going back where I'm dropping the extra yarn over, so yeah, not much progress on that. I'm working on a pair of socks. These are in the Heat Miser colorway from Geektastic. It's the first time I've worked with this sport weight base, which is her merino nylon base, and I like it a lot. I think it's the same base that another crafty girl uses, and a lot of other dyers use, and I really like it's got a nice spring to it, so
Nice.
I like it. So I'm knitting those on size 3 US, and this is what I've got left in the skein. These are going to someone with a small foot, so I'm putting it down because I need to measure and see how much more I have to do. And then I swatched a couple things.
Oh, cool.
So when I bought things at SSK this year, and I really don't buy a lot of stuff outside of SSK, a lot of yarn or fiber outside of SSK, just because I'm sort of on a mission to finish that sort of thing, and I'm not in a stashing place right now. I'm overwhelmed by the things in this room, so
You're in a stash down kind of mode.
yeah, and I'm broadening my interests. I do a fair amount of sewing and quilting and watercolor. I'm trying to get into sketching, but it's a slower habit to pick up because I'm truly terrible at
Embroidery.
it. Yeah, some embroidery. I looked at an embroidery
weaving.
machine to do make patches, like Girl Scout towel patches, and was a little surprised at how expensive they are.
Mom's got an embroidery machine.
Does she?
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen her embroidery machine.
The Pfaff one's embroidery.
Oh, I mean like a dedicated.
Oh, okay.
Multicolor.
Gotcha.
I mean, those can, like most things, it's a wide range of prices. You can get some for around the $1,000 mark, and they go way up real quick.
You also want to get into the rug gun thing.
Yeah, rug tufting with a tufting gun. I'm interested in that, but that takes up a lot of space. Like, you need a big frame and you need space to move around, and that's just not a thing I have right now. So a lot of different things I want to do and am going to try. But I got some oink pigments in that same linen silk base that Laura's using for, what's that tea called?
Not Rocket.
That sort of teal, light seafoamy teal kind of mix.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have it this week, but
No, I'm using fingering weight, and you got the DK
correct,
weight, right?
yes. Yep. So I'm going to knit a sweater called Directions by Claudia S. Kolb, and it's kind of modular-ish. It's got like this big dolman sleeve opening. That's something I haven't seen. and it's got this kind of linen stitch look without actually being a linen stitch. So I swatched it and then haven't measured after washing and blocking. I haven't measured. I think it's pretty close, so I think that and this was on a size 5, which is about the smallest I'm willing. Nope, this was on a 4, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, on
you borrowed a 4 from me.
A DK weight, and that's about as small as I'm willing to go, because it will be bulletproof if I go that much. I mean, like, it's super dense. This is DK on a 4.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go down. And for me, I'm not going to go down anymore. So if the numbers don't work, I'll do some math and then ask Gwen to double check it, and then ask Amy Beth to double check that.
Gwen's on a ton of painkillers right now, so she would not be my first choice to double check math.
Our friend Gwen, who helps us at SSK, but we know her outside of that, of course. She's brilliant. She's like not a curator. She's a conservator, that's the word, at the Smithsonian. And like the week after SSK, she was on a scooter,
electric scooter,
in DC, like going between places, and somebody ran a light, and she crashed into that car and broke something. No, wait, was it the scooter foot that broke, or was it the other foot?
She's broken both her feet.
Yeah.
And the scooter foot had to have surgery.
Okay. So she's recovering and in DC, and she's got lots of crafts and books and stuff, but yeah, if you know Gwen, send her a note and say hello. But yeah, so this is for the sideways top, and this and everything else we talk about is linked in our show notes. And our show notes are on the website, which is TheKnitGirlls with 3Ls.com. Yep. And then the other thing is I got some fingering weight and lace from Hip Strings to do a sweater called Halfway by Jamie Hoffman, who I looked, and she's the same one that did the V-back tee.
Yeah.
So that's one that Laura tried and it just didn't work for her.
She's redone it since then.
Okay.
So I don't think I'll do the DK weight. I think I'll do the fingering weight if I do it again.
Okay. Well, this one is, this swatch, it's in tarsia, so the top is in tarsia, which is kind of a bummer because it means I can't just zoom through everything. But it is what I want to make, and it's you hold a fingering weight together with a lace for most of the sweater, and in the center there's a panel that's just the lace and garter stitch. So I did that for the swatch just by pulling from both ends of the yarn cake, so I got extra ends on the back. But that wouldn't be sustainable for the whole sweater because you'd constantly be going around and you'd have to cut it. And anyway, in tarsia, that's how it works. So these were the colors that I got in SSK, but looking at it, I didn't really like this silver with the sort of wine color. Is
that why you got the rhubarb?
It's too stark.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent a picture to Jill and Nick of Hip Strings and was like, explain the situation. You know, and I asked, do you have anything that's a little less stark that might go with it? And so she sent me a link to a color called Strawberry Rhubarb, which has a little bit of that wine color in it, but then the rest of it tends toward a little bit more red. So this is what I'm just folding it over. So this is what it looks like, and I like it a lot better. Yeah. So it's very dark at the bottom, very bright at the top. And I like that. So that's what I'll use. The base color is Dionysus. The lace at the top is Strawberry Rhubarb, and this gray is Lead. So yeah, I again haven't measured to see if the number of stitches is right, but I'll do that before I actually cast anything on. I just wanted to sort of swatch and get an idea of what everything would look like.
Yeah. I like how you swatched in pattern.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I liked, because there were some people who left out the panel and just, you know, went around and around stocking, and they looked great too. So I thought, if I hate the panel, I can just do it in stockinette, but I really like the panel. And it's something a little different, so.
I do not have a finished object. Do you have a finished object?
I
I had half a sock that was quasi-finished.
You have a whole sock, just half a pair.
Yeah, half a pair.
I have some quilting, but you have some spinning, right?
I do. I have the other two fingering weight, one bobbin of each of the fingering weights that I'm using for the rest of this project. So I am writing an article for an issue of Ply magazine. Ply is great to write for. Love it. The way that it works is they have a mood board. Ply is done on themes. So, like, every issue has a theme, and there's a mood board that goes with it. Hi, baby.
She's a puppy.
A puppy's legs. There we go. Oh, you're gonna lose your bone. You better go get it. Hi, I'll help. I got the other puppy now. Go get your pig ear. Oh, now I got both of you. Okay. Hi. It's a pile of puppies. A pile of puppies.
Hey, let's not scratch friends, okay?
But it's so fun. You're gonna lose your pig ear, dude. Alright. So, Ply magazine. There's a mood board, there's a topic, you submit articles, you 100%. Oh, you haven't lost your pig ear yet.
Sorry.
There we go. So, this article is about sock yarn and different fiber compositions and whether they grow or not. So, the Inglenook was a mohair and wool blend, non-superwash, a downbreed. This, the second one was a superwash BFL nylon blend. This is a superwash merino nylon blend from All Wound Up. And then the fourth one is a downbreed nylon, bio nylon blend from Hip Strings.
Hey.
So yeah, so these will all be 3-plies eventually. I'm leaving from here to go to a PTO meeting, but I have to go home because I'm afraid if I leave these bobbins in the car, they'll melt because it is 112 here today, and my car will get much warmer than that. So on my way home, I'm going to drop off my bobbins.
Luckily, it's sort of on the way from here, so.
Sort of, kind of. But yeah, so that is what I am spinning. And I have another article that will be published September 1st, which is the end of next week. And then I have an article in the sweaters issue that I just got, like, the final, not the final proofs, but the second proofs back to go through and
Pretty
read.
much at any point, Laura's writing a Ply article, or preparing to write a Ply article.
We're doing something.
So,
I also wrote for their blog, which was super fun. But if you're ever thinking about getting into writing about spinning or knitting or weaving or up with hand spun, Ply's great to work for. They're tons of fun. So yeah, that is my spinning, what's going on with me. Hopefully those will all be finished by next week and turned into at least one other sock, maybe 2.
got some knitting to do.
I do. I've got some spinning to do too.
Stop. We don't jump in our friends' laps. Okay?
I mean, do we not?
There are rules about how we behave.
I was going to jump in your lap, Leslie. I can't believe you're telling me no.
I mean, that would be very warm very quickly in this room. And that would absolutely initiate a dog pile.
Oh.
So I've been doing some quilting, not a ton, but I am finally putting the squares of this Axis quilt, which is linked in the show notes. I'm putting the squares together into strips. Each one, like a lot of this work, I could take the little bits over to my work desk and do like the pinning and stuff while I'm on a meeting or whatever, but now it's too ungainly, and like I would need a sewing machine directly behind me to be able to pay attention to what's going on and sew. So I don't.
I'm gonna go home and my dog's gonna be like,
what have you done?
What is happening here?
So anyhow, I've got the 3 out of the 7 strips sewn together.
It's so nice and bright and cheery.
So they alternate, these little bits and bobs alternate here, as well as how the fat versions of the cross and the narrow versions. So, yeah. So I've got 3 out of the 7 strips put together, and it doesn't take long to put them together. Honestly, at this point, I'm pretty close to being done with the top of it. And then I'll get a backing and some batting and send it to Mama Linneman and pay her in hand knits or watercolors or whatever she wants. Yeah, that's pretty much it for quilting. As far as like reading, I'm in a horror place right now, so I'm reading The Last Days by Adam Neville, which is about this documentarian who gets paid to, or hired to, sort of do a recap on this weird cult that was in London in the late 1960s, early 1970s. And I'm only about halfway through. It's good so far. It's kind of a little bit weird, a little bit scary.
I just love you so much,
you know,
Mommy.
she's all like, her face is all messed up because she and Jordy are constantly like mouthing at each other.
Yeah.
Like they never actually close their mouth on each other, but they're like play.
Puppy teeth are
right,
sharp.
and puppy teeth are very sharp. And she's never like freaked out and bit him in response or anything. I guess she, you know.
She's like, this is how we play.
Yeah. So I've been reading that and listening to Samantha Irby. I have already listened to these 2 books, but I'm re-listening to them. Samantha Irby is a fat black writer out of Chicago, and so I've listened to We Are Never Meeting in Real Life and Wow, No Thank You, as well as her first one, Needy. And then the new one just came out this year, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's yellow, I think, the cover. Anyway, so I'll listen to that one after I finish this one, but it's good. Like, I needed something that I knew wasn't going to be like an intense fantasy, like a Lord of the Rings type, super intense Brandon Sanderson kind of.
He's got a new one that just came out too, I think. Or my library just bought it.
Okay. Yeah, I like Brandon Sanderson, but his Way of Kings series is, oh god, it's like you need a month per book. And that's listening for 2-3 hours a day.
Do you know what you need to listen to? Lattes and Legends.
I put it on my list, so.
So good.
Hey, what about you? What have you been reading or watching?
I have been listening to, I finished The Labors of Hercules Beale, which is a Middle Greek contemporary fiction. It is by Gary Schmidt.
You talked a little bit about that. Maybe it was at the Patreon thing.
Okay. I think I talked about it on Patreon. So I love Gary Schmidt. His first book that I read was Wednesday Wars, which is set during the Vietnam War, and this book actually has a minor character from that book all grown up.
I like it when crossovers
Yeah,
happen.
like he's the king of crossovers, but also his books are tearjerkers and will make you cry, and this one is no different. So Hercules Beale is, I think, 12 years old, 11 or 12, and his parents have been killed in a car accident, and his brother, Achilles, who works for National Geographic, comes home to their home on Cape Cod, which is a family farm, the Beale Brothers farm, and it is about basically a school year in Hercules' life where his English teacher, they all have to do like these big Greek projects, and everyone's assigned a very different project, and his is to work out the labors of the original Greek Hercules and make them relevant for today. And so it goes through these like 12 different labors of Hercules, and some of them are funny and some of them are heartbreaking. So yeah, it's just a really, really good book. I enjoyed it immensely. So now they're underneath my chair.
That's Jordan. He's still small enough to fit under the chairs, and so when he wants to taunt Carly,
Look at the face. He just put his face out between my legs. You are silly. Oh, if I had my phone, I would take pictures. You are such a silly goose, Jordy.
She's like, hey, look at me. I'm cool.
Sorry, did I call you, Carly?
I'm cool.
You're something. I don't know that cool's the word. Is there a oh, there's a puppy down there.
Sorry, we're super distracted today.
So, I finished that. It was really, really good, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to listen to next. I'm listening to a lot of audiobooks while I knit and spin, and I'm also watching, what am I watching? I started watching the Nicole Byer, the cake fail thing. Nailed it. The new version.
I'm halfway through it.
Of that. And then Leslie and I are also watching Project Runway All-Stars. And there's also a new season of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under if we want to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to resubscribe to...
whichever one it's on this year.
Yeah.
It's on a different one every year.
The overseas ones are typically on the same one, but I can't... World of Wonder.
Oh, okay. WoW Presents.
Yeah. So we'll see. Look, that's a little bit more of a sock. Look, it could be a puppy crown. Pearl turns 8 next week.
Oh my goodness.
So her gotcha day is Saturday, I believe. So yeah, that's going on. I will be at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool. Oh, my sister's calling me. Wisconsin Sheep and Wool the second week in September. It's the weekend after Labor Day. So yeah, that's coming up soon.
That is coming up soon.
You'll have to entertain my parents while I'm out of town.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
They're coming. They're going to put in a new garbage disposal for me, I think.
I can't believe that. I mean, I can.
If I don't give them a chore list, then, like...
Your kitchen gets rearranged.
Yeah.
Or pantry gets... Oh, my gosh. So, my little sister is always looking for odd jobs to, make money. And usually I have her clean, like, do stuff that I'm just too lazy to do. Like, vacuum the stairs and... deep clean the bathroom. This week I asked her to go through my pantry and get rid of everything that was expired.
That's a great job.
3/4 of my pantry is now gone.
Like, I really need to do that.
So I had to go back and get staples, like my flour was expired, my baking powder was expired.
I would rather you not fight on top of me.
Yeah, they look so ferocious, but like, they're not actually hurting each other. Okay, all right, let's do this after we record.
Or not.
Okay, I think
all right, we're done.
Oh,
thank you so much to everyone who's donated to my library. My kids really, really appreciate it. They've been super excited this week.
It's their first week of checking out books.
Yeah, the 6th graders. It's their first time in my library. All right,
they're fun. They're just fun. Hey, knock it off.
All right, friends. We will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. You don't want to be protected?
Good gracious.
Hi. Hi. Hi, big baby. Hi, big. Attack of the killer dogs. So vicious. So vicious. Hi.
She doesn't want your pig ear.
I do. I mean, it does look delicious, but I feel like it is not in my diet. Sorry. You know what would allow you to keep that pig ear? Going back in your kennel.
Like, also, I could get under the chairs. I do that all the time.
Oh, do you go under the chairs? Are you a little monster? I mean, yes.
Okay.